Yo, so this video is pretty overdue. I think I owe it to most people now to just basically explain where I've been and what's happened, because obviously I've gone a bit quiet over the last sort of couple of weeks. As to be expected when going into a show when I'm getting down to like unhealthy amounts of body fat, so like sub 5% for example in the last couple of weeks. Leading up to a show, you are going to be super depleted and probably struggle to push out like content and stuff like I have been in the past. But obviously this time I've completely gone sort of off the grid, and it's taken quite a lot for me to make this video and sort of try and get past what's happened and sort of create a fresh start. But yeah, so this is like my explanation sort of video as to what has happened and where I've been. So I'm going to shorten down the story quite a bit, but basically 4 days before the show I decided I wasn't going to compete, which it breaks me to even say now, because I know a lot of people I've spoken to who have said like don't worry about it, and I haven't let anybody down, but in my heart of hearts I feel like I've let a lot of people down, because not only have people been rooting for me, but people have been supporting me, and it's been hard to have made that decision basically. But essentially I'm going to be as transparent in this video as possible and explain why I ended up putting out the show. But in short, my mental health state sort of took a hit during this prep, because I was trying to push through on prep whilst I had a lot of other exterior things going on, which was putting a lot of pressure and a lot of strain on me. And it essentially got too much and something had to give, because I was not in a good place and it was deteriorating still at an exponential rate, to the point where if maybe I was, I don't know, like 12 hours or a day out, I could have maybe pushed, but with still having 4 whole days, it just wasn't good, because I was going downhill at such a rate. For the show itself, I was looking like, if I look back now at the pictures, at the check-ins, that everything was completely on track. It wasn't like it was the prep itself that made me want to stop. It wasn't like I was being weak in that sense, where I was like the prep was putting too much pressure on me necessarily. It was just everything else I had going on, and with being super depleted on prep, it's near impossible to try and handle other things and get yourself to 4% body fat with trying to maintain as much muscle mass and water deplete and sleep deprive, etc, etc. So as much as that puts strain on you anyway, the other stuff that I was going through and that I'm going through just put too much on me. So I was probably at about 3.5 to 4 weeks of sub 4 hours of sleep a night, which again, like when you're getting down to the crunchy times on prep, it does have a little bit of detriment to you, but not to the point where you're getting sub 4 hours sleep from like 3.5 to 4 weeks continuously, because that just has like an ongoing effect on your mental state anyway, and your physical state obviously from recovery standpoint. But so yeah, I ended up making that decision 4 days out, and because it was such a hard decision anyway, and I was already going quiet on the social media side of things, because I just felt like in my heart of hearts I was struggling just in general, and that was then making me feel like I wasn't ready or whatnot, because you always have them thoughts anyway. But looking back, I was 100% on, and like I say, it wasn't that anyway. It wasn't the prep necessarily. But anyway, so as soon as I made that decision to stop, I then took that weight off my shoulders with having to smash my steps, obviously having to be in a huge deficit, having to sort of do the water loading and whatever else I was doing at that time, because it was literally on peak week. So yeah, having that sort of pressure taken off me and whatnot probably saved me in many ways. As much as I didn't want to do it, because as most people know, I've sacrificed so much to put into this show. I've sacrificed like trips away, I've sacrificed a lot of family time, I've sacrificed a lot of work movements, I've sacrificed a hell of a lot of money in the time, I've sacrificed bringing out merchandise for it, as you know, with the hoodies and whatever else, and I've sacrificed everyone else's help that they've given me, and basically just ended up not doing it. But at the end of the day, I've got to try and think about what could have happened if I had have pushed forwards and had have tried to carry on myself. I might not have made it to the show. I might have ended up breaking completely and going off the edge, if I'm being completely honest with you. So at the end of the day, that's what's more important. There's more out there than just this one show, I guess. And I don't want this to be the end of my journey. Now I'm gonna try and work through these exterior things, and just start ticking them off one time at one piece at a time, sort of thing. And once I've managed to tick off a lot of this stuff, then I'm going to be able to put more energy and time back into the things that I actually love doing and start enjoying it again. By all means, I'm not going to be saying that I'm never going to compete again, because I do want to compete. I'm still going to be bodybuilding. I'm still going to be doing everything. Still going to be doing the whole bodybuilding journey. But yeah, this time it just all got a bit much. Never struggled like that personally, and I feel like bringing out this video, although it's mega hard, it probably opens up a lot of people's eyes to realise like it can happen to anyone basically. Yeah, it can literally happen to anybody. Like the mental side of things. So yeah, I guess this is me swiping the clean slate and getting back to it. Once I've pushed this video out and sort of explained to everybody that even cares about it, where I've been and why I've been so quiet, because people have been asking, like I've said, that'll sort of give me the peace of mind to then start basically again and start putting my stuff back on social media, start getting back into the gym, start getting my eating and everything back on track, and start pushing out some good content again, which I actually enjoy doing. Because at the moment I just feel like I can't really do that until I've explained myself, because I've just gone off the grid. Essentially I took like however many days off, maybe like 2 weeks or so off everything. I just spent a load of time with the family, just went and lived with them for a while after I made that decision. Just obviously eating whatever I want. Quite clearly I've put on a hell of a lot of weight. I shouldn't have obviously done that, because it's quite dangerous to do that, but just relieving that pressure helped a lot. So yeah, that is it. I'm probably going to start showing some of the stuff. So when I was sort of up and down in my mind state, yo-yoing, and I was having some good times, I had orders come from Insight, which if I've got videos, I'll pop them up here. I had the hoodies obviously come, which I will show you here again if I've got videos of it. So look what's came. Big order. Let's go. So the big reveal, eh? The big reveal. Oof. Hello. Ooh. What? Come on. Nice. Here we go. Cheers. And yeah, there was some good times that I hadn't put up because I just my mind was yo-yoing so much. One minute I was thinking that everything was all sweet and I was on track, and then one minute I was just thinking about all the stress, and I was just thinking that I basically can't do it, and I just, yeah, I didn't want tomorrow to come, pretty much, if I'm being honest. But now pushing forwards, moving through, and just going to start pushing out some content, which I was going to push out after the show anyway. So yeah, that is the story. So yeah, I'll also show sort of a bit of my conditioning and stuff from what I was looking like from when I was a couple of weeks out, and I'll put that up here now. So yeah, as you can see, I'm super lean. I was probably leaner than the original show that I'd done, because I had striations coming through my glutes and through my triceps and stuff, like a couple of weeks out compared to the sort of week out which they were coming through on my last show. But this time I was holding a hell of a lot more muscle mass. I was at 85 to 86 kg at sub 5%, which would have been ideal basically to go onto stage at, which was my aim on my vision board, was to be on stage at 85. So yeah, you can see there I was on track. So just want to end by saying thank you to everyone that has been supporting me, whether it was through my bodybuilding prep or whether it was noticing that I was going through a hard time, or just in general, to be honest with you, just like general people keeping in touch and stuff. It does help. So thank you to all them people, and I will be putting out another video soon, hopefully. Not decided which video it's going to be just yet, but it will be exciting, and I will start to get back into my usual self, and hopefully you guys will enjoy that. And then I will start looking at which show I will be able to do once I have ticked off all these other exterior things, because I've realised having too much on your plate at once can be detrimental. So yeah, hopefully in a few months' time, when all these things are ticked off, I can then look at which show it's going to be. But until then, until next video, let's make some gains. Boom.